One reason I believe that The Mandalorian Season 2 was so successful had a lot to do with not just Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's treatment of Luke Skywalker, but exactly how Peyton Reed directed the entire episode from start to finish and really gave hope to the entire Star Wars fandom of what's to come for new Star Wars TV shows that lie ahead. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So with that being said, we already have a lot of things coming our way for Disney Star Wars as a whole. We have, of course, The Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano series, Kenobi, and more. The Bad Batch Season 2 is about to debut very, very soon, by spring of this year. So we're going to be learning about that release date in the coming weeks. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm to really build Star Wars from the ground up. And that's essentially how George, John, and Dave, Peyton Reed, Deborah Chow, and others out there are actually treating Star Wars right now. They're treating it as if it's just beginning, pretty much really kind of scratching the surface and really building it all from the ground up and creating this new image of the franchise and how the fans are going to perceive it from this point on forward. So, with that being said, what's really actually exciting has everything to do with the fact of what's going on with the mandoverse. Now, the mandoverse, alright, has everything to do that takes place within the timeline that's considered the post-return of the Jedi timeline. That actually revolves around Ahsoka, Mando, Book of Boba, and other TV shows that will also be announced later this year in May. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing has everything to do with what John, George, and Dave have planned for a fan-favorite character that's going to debut in The Mandalorian Season 4, and exactly what it's really going to entail and how it all involves actor Samuel Jackson. So, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now focused on their new projects like Ahsoka and Mando Season 3, both John and Dave Filoni are beginning to work on the new Star Wars shows that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration this May. Now, further, it's noted, however, that John and Dave are beginning to work on The Mandalorian Season 4 that is still planned for a 2023 release during the holiday season. Now, it's noted, however, that both John and Dave have a very important scene planned for Mando Season 4, which is still aimed to be the series finale. One key scene that is already storyboarded and done in the form of concept art as well on the side, that is now finalized to be implemented into the form of a script for the 4th season, involves an elderly version of Mace Windu within the hidden Jedi temple based on a new mystery world. This mystery world is described to heavily mimic Pandora from the Avatar movie by Disney. The sequence is set to involve a moment in which both Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano meet with Mace Windu, where he is described to demand to see the child. Both Grogu and Mace Windu are set to meet in The Mandalorian Season 4, and that big revelations between the two characters are set to be unveiled. Now, the thing about Mace Windu and Grogu having a connection is a very interesting one, because we already know that Mando Season 3 is going to actually use the concept that was done in Book of Boba with flashbacks. Now, with, of course, Boba Fett having flashbacks, dating, of course, back to, moments in the Attack of the Clones era and everything that happened after Jango Fett got killed. We saw, repurposed footage from Episode 2 that was used in the Book of Boba. We saw flashbacks like that. We saw flashbacks in different points in time. Basically, what George, John, and Dave want to do is that they want to do that with Grogu, and how that's going to actually give us flashbacks to Order 66, giving us different views of exactly what happened during Episode 3 and even after Episode 3. So that's all going to start with The Mandalorian Season 3, and it's going to start even further in Mandalorian Season 4. It's going to progress, and it's going to be more and more revealing as we go through each and every episode of the rest of the Mandalorian series. Now, keep in mind that Mando Season 4 is not going to debut until next year during the holiday season. That's basically 2 years away. We got a very long ways until that debuts, and hopefully it stays on track for schedule. I highly doubt that they would delay something like that, because that really is like John and Dave's main series. But moving past this, alright, what's really exciting is what lies after that. And of course, big revelations between both Mace Windu and Grogu are set to be unveiled. This really makes you wonder what kind of revelations will be inserted into The Mandalorian Season 4 that involves both Mace and Grogu. Now, there are even big story elements planned that involve Mace Windu holding Grogu at one point in time, where he connects with him and, of course, and taps into his mind like no other Jedi could. This is set to be a moment in which Mace Windu discovers new secrets of Grogu in The Mandalorian Season 4, where both John and Dave have already been in the talks with Samuel Jackson on returning for the role, and Jackson is very excited to return as Mace Windu. Now, his design is described to show a perfectly visible bionic arm, with scars on his face with a grey beard to give him a new, wise design. Windu's clothing is best described as a shredded Jedi cloak, and appears similar if not the same one as seen in Episode 3. He also wears a special necklace around his neck that holds a white kyber crystal, very similar to what Jyn Erso sported in Rogue One, however different in shape. Now, Mace Windu returning for The Mandalorian Season 4 is best described to be the big character and glorified cameo scene for the finale of the series before John and Dave branch things out to new Star Wars shows entirely. The story of Din Djarin will continue, however, will be done in different shows. This entire sequence is already planned to begin filming sometime in early 2023, before it will be unveiled and revealed to fans around the holiday season of that year. John and Dave have also got a lot of plans in stock to create a new theme for Mace Windu in The Mandalorian Season 4. Now, the 4th season is set to go under a different title, and will not be called Season 4, but will hold the Mandalorian title mixed with a subtitle. The introduction of an elderly Mace Windu is described to be used as a tool in a sense, to deliver both Luke and Ahsoka hidden secrets about Palpatine, Order 66, and even his secrets across the entire galaxy. Now, the thing about this that really kind of sparks my interest is the fact that we are going to be getting a very similar world to Pandora in Avatar. Now, I can see why Disney would want to do something like that, because after all, they are the ones who made Avatar and, you know, everything related to the world of Pandora. So this world that Mace Windu is on is going to deeply resemble Pandora, and on that world holds a secret Jedi temple that lies underneath the ground. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago of how they are already actually in the process of really kind of diving deep into the lore of this new Jedi temple that's going to be explored in books and comics this year during the fall. And we're going to be learning more about that, the official name of the temple, where it's really located, the official name of the planet. A lot of things are going to be confirmed by this fall. That's really going to kind of tease of what's to come from Mandalorian Season 4. The thing about Mace Windu, I think that some fans might have issues with of bringing him back in action here into the Star Wars world is that, well, I can see how some fans would feel that the meaning of death becomes meaningless in Star Wars now, especially with those, you know, that have become Force ghosts. That I can understand. But on top of that, basically all of the apparent deaths did not turn out to be deaths after all. That seems to be now a running thing in the franchise. Boba Fett fell into a pit. He survived, right? Luke Skywalker fell during The Empire Strikes Back. He survived. Palpatine fell into the reactor. He survived. Ben Solo fell into the pit. He lived. You know, we have all of these examples. Darth Maul is another prime example. Fell into the deep chasm during Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. He lived. This is the same exact thing going for Mace Windu now. It seems to be a running theme that any character, be it good or evil, that falls from a very high distance or is entrapped in something comes back to life in some way, shape, or form. Han Solo was the only exception, that he didn't really come back to life literally, but in spirit he came back to life in Ben Solo's mind. So with that being said, let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night Mandalorian.